Sunderite, the real orgonite. Now, what is the difference between an orgonite and a sunderite? Sunderites are real resin orgonites. Let us start with the everyday orgonites that are much advertised in esoteric circles and are allegedly cast out of artificial chemical epoxy resin. Firstly, the artificial resin out of which all these orgonites are cast is not even resin. It is epoxy resin, or in short, epoxy, and that is 100% plastic. It is a chemical bond that consists of two components. As soon as they are mixed together, one can pour it into molds, where it hardens overnight, casting just about anything inside them. And that is what they call orgonites, and have the audacity to claim it is according to Mr. Wilhelm Reich. But epoxy did not even exist at the time of Mr. Reich. It had not yet been invented. Therefore, these so-called orgonites can't come from Mr. Wilhelm Reich. These things only emerged during the 90s, and someone just made them up. Secondly, epoxy resin is extremely poisonous, and this makes the orgonites, as beautiful as they look, highly poisonous and dangerous. But take a look for yourself what epoxy resin really is. And if you then read the warnings about this epoxy, it gets really bad. Look at this. Causes skin irritation, can cause allergic skin reactions, causes severe eye irritation, toxic to aquatic organisms with long-term effects, avoid release into the environment. There you see the sign, environment and dead fish. Wear protective gloves, protective clothing, eye protection, face protection. This product and its container should be disposed of as hazardous waste. Ingredients include bisphenol A and F. That's BPA and BPF, if you know what that really means. And then tell me if you really believe that this plastic is something life-giving. Some say that one can measure energy on the plastic part. That may well be the case at the beginning, but this is the result of a chemical reaction of the plastic with the trapped metal parts, stones, and other stuff inside of it. The only thing that the plastic orgonites have about them is that they look beautiful, but that's all. A poisonous cold beauty. Take a look at my playlist about pyramids. There, I clearly show how pyramids work and what the dangerous thing about these resin pyramids is, and the praises about rays, healing stones and harmonization, conductive and non-conductive substances, purification of life energy. The balancing of chakras must not be missing, and positive vibration frequency, and all this from a plastic part. Beautiful things cast and welded into plastic. Why doesn't anyone think along with that? This is not real resin. This is synthetic resin, only plastic, which is in reality epoxy resin. You can cast it. You can't cast natural resin. It's not transparent either. Real resin looks like honey. It is claimed that they would absorb the negative and give out the positive. It's all a lie. These resin pyramids pull your energy out of you and give you nothing in return, except for their own toxic plastic ingredients. It evaporates, and it is so highly toxic that they have to wear protective clothing, gloves, goggles, and masks while making their orgonites, that is, while mixing and pouring them. If epoxy really would draw negative energy out of the environment, what about all the other things that are made from epoxy? For example, garage floors or other flooring in the house made from epoxy. Any epoxy glue used in any joint, and any epoxy paint, as well as anything else made from epoxy, or similar plastics like plastic bags or polyester sweaters. Then what about them? They would all draw out and absorb the negativity too, wouldn't they? It's the same material. Briefly summarized once again, orgonites are cast from synthetic resin. This is epoxy resin that is 100% plastic, and it is also highly toxic. This begs the question, how can something that is so toxic that you have to wear protective clothing when mixing the components and casting it have positive effects? Harmonious vibrations, exchange of negative energies, etc. That's nonsense. And you should also bear in mind that the orgonite sellers all use Mr. Reich's name. They claim Orgonite according to Mr. Reich, although this castable synthetic resin did not even exist in his time. But if you have now realized what a fraud these plastic orgonites are, then you must not simply throw them away. Epoxy resin must be disposed of as hazardous waste. That's why you know immediately that a cast orgonite is not real orgonite, but synthetic resin, that is epoxy plastic.